Disclaimer, this video is an experiment done in a virtual environment and not a real PC. The actions taken in this video have no impact on my PC that I'm using, nor the files on it. I do not recommend this to be done on any normal PC, and I do not take responsibility for any damage done to your PC in the course of copying my actions. Hope you enjoy. What's going on, guys? Commander, and welcome to a new video on Hyper-V. Now, this is the second part in my little experiment sort of series. This is going to be 3 parts. The last episode I would have cut that into 2 parts, but for the ease of understandability and what I was doing, split it into 2 separate episodes sort of wasn't the right thing to do with that. I wanted to just shorten it down as best as I could. So what I've decided I'm going to do is there's 3 parts to this. So the first part, which is last episode, if you haven't seen it, go and look at it now, as you'll get the basis idea of what I'm trying to do in this little mini series. Last episode I installed Windows 10 onto a virtual machine. Today I'm going to be installing Windows 8.1 on the same virtual machine, just on a different storage drive. And next episode we are going to be sort of testing out the little bits of the actual experiment to see if I can swap them in and out of each other in the BIOS. So if you want a look any detailed overview of what we're going to be doing, then go and watch the last episode, because I explain into detail exactly what we're doing. But for now, I'm just going to get straight into it and open up my virtual machine. Now, what I want to do, what we need to do first, I need to go into the settings of it. Go to settings. Where's my hard drive? Right, so I need to no, where's my DVD drive? So I got my 2 drives here. This is it, I think. No, where is it? I should be able to just want to just turn it off, is it? Right, let's connect to it a minute. Switch it on. Okay, so it's just restoring. I didn't set it up properly. That's alright. Right, so what we can do once it's just restored properly is I will eject the Windows 10 install media disk and install, what's this? Right, so what we'll do now is we'll insert the disk, and we've got 8.1 English x64 to 64-bit operating system. The actual specifications of this machine, if I didn't show you before, regardless of whether, oh no, wrong bit, whether as I show you before, I'll show you it again. Settings. So we've got a dual-core processor. Just say, if you are going to be using Hyper-V or any other virtual machine environment like VirtualBox or VMware or what have you, take note of what your system specifications are, because you cannot make a virtual machine that is the exact same specification as your own PC. My CPU at the moment that I'm using in this PC, that I'm using at the moment to record this, is a quad-core processor, so I'm going to be using 2 cores. I do not advise you to use any more than half of the cores that you have got in your PC. Even if you've got a 6-core PC, in a 6-core CPU in your PC, do not use any more than 3 cores. The only reason why I say that is because you've got to be very careful that you do not put too much strain on your CPU. This is half of the processors that I've got, so I've still got 2 CPU processor cores inside my PC to run Windows in itself. Same with memory. Do not use any more than half the memory that you've got. So I've got 8 gigs of RAM in my PC, so I'm only using 4 gigs of RAM. So don't use any more than necessary, or any more than half of what's in your system. So I've got 4 gigs of video memory, a dual core processor, got 2 hard drives. This is the one I think that's the one that's got Windows 10 installed on. I can't exactly remember. But one of them's got Windows 10 already on it. One's got is going to have Windows 8.1 on it by the end of this video. That's my CD drive, and that's my network adapter that for some reason doesn't want to work. But yeah, that's just a specification of the machine we're using. It just depends on what your system is. It's obviously going to be worse than the system that you're going to put together. You're going to be using, just because you can't have one that is exactly the same for obvious reasons that I've just explained. So let's just boot from any CD or DVD. Now, is this going to work? Actually, boot up with 8.1. That is a good question. Windows 8. Right, good. So what we want, we do not want United States. I can't change the language to install. Want United Kingdom and United Kingdom. I mentioned this in the last episode. Keyboard and input methods, you need it as your actual country because of the different keyboard layouts you can get between different countries. I'm not going to go to repair your computer because that's basically the exact same as it is last time. So if you want to know what the repair your computer features are, go to last episode and go to the last episode, and I basically explained in detail the different bits to repairing your PC, laptop, or computer, or whatever. Okay, so I can't actually enter in a product key. Can I? Just click next. Will that work? Let's check it and try it again. There should be an option to insert the product key afterwards. Right, I'm just going to go and search for this again. I'll be back once I've done. Alright guys, I'm back. Now, we're back with the Windows 8 installation. Now, what I've basically done is I've got another Windows 8.1 installation ISO. Now, if you are ever in this position where you need a license key, go and buy a license key. The only reason why I don't want to use a license key is because, one, I haven't got a valid Windows 8 license key, and two, because I'm using a Hyper-V virtual machine, there's no need in me doing it because I'm wasting the money I'm paying on that license key. If you're putting yourself a PC together, go and buy yourself a license key before you go and buy yourself a license key before you put your operating system on, so then you don't have to go through what I'm going through and finding what I would see as a non-legitimate version of Windows 8, because I just got a random ISO off of the internet. Now, it's fine because Hyper-V uses the zipped version of the ISO files to I don't know how to explain it. Install Windows uses a zipped version, so a compressed and archived version. If you're doing it on a normal PC, you need to burn that onto a disk, and I'm not sure how well that would work, especially if it's not a legitimate one. Especially if this is not legitimate, then it's just a virtual machine. If anything breaks on the virtual machine, I can just recreate it and reinstall it. So I said before, I'm not going to go to repair computer because it's just the exact same stuff. So what we're going to do is go install now. Now, from what I can gather, I've gone through this up until the install part of this setup, and it goes through the exact same thing. It just doesn't say to me to put in a license key. It skips that part. So whether it's been specially made for that purpose or not, I'm not too sure. Right, okay, this is where I tried to install it the last time. So this would be a good time to know if you are going to reinstall Windows 10 or 8 or 7 or whatever. So if you're going to reinstall your operating system, something like this is basically what you're going to be faced with, basically. So you're going to have two drives. You're going to have one which is your primary drive with a bit of data taken off it, and this is going to be one, and it comes in the system. Now, it won't be 350 megabytes. It'd be something like 4 or 5 gigabytes. And what this is the Windows installation. So if you want to reinstall your operating system with a clean install, completely wiped, then what you need to do is you need to click that install Windows 10 install, and you need to format it, I think. Right. Okay, then no, you need to delete it. Right, so you need to delete it, and then you need to format this one. And then that should Right, so that's fine. So what? So you just so you reformat that and reformat that, delete that, and that'll be fine. So then you click this one and click next, and then it starts the copying of the Windows files. I think this is going to take a bit less time, maybe. I'm not too sure. No, so it's going to take the same amount of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go off again and just do what I need to do, and I'll be back. I'll let this keep going, and I'll be back once it has all been installed. Okay, so we're in the next setup bit of the Windows 8.1 or 8 install. And we're getting to this point where this is actually brand new to me. I've never done this before. I've only installed Windows 8.1 once, and it was nothing like this. I think this is an older version of 8.1, but I'm not entirely sure. So we're going to just leave the color, we'll just leave the color just like a normal blue. Don't want it all the way up here like orange. That's not very nice. That I can't see properly. We'll leave it at that. That's nice. So PC name, Commander Prime, just because. Next, settings. Express settings. We recommend these settings, which include occasionally sending info to Microsoft. You can customize these settings now or later. Right now, this is what we were talking about last episode of Microsoft stealing all of your information. So instead of saying, it says we recommend using express settings. Of course, Microsoft are going to recommend using express settings because they're going to get the most information up for you. So I do not advise at all to use express settings. I'm going to click customize. This is what I advise you to do as well. So if you click customize, you can do this. It doesn't really matter whether it's work or home PCs. Just do whatever you think, whatever you it is. So home or work or networks in public places. This is just for connecting to the internet, like it was last episode. It was just done in a different way and in a different order. So it's my home or work PC. It won't be able to connect to the internet, I don't believe. I might be completely wrong. It's saying connecting to your network and applying settings. It probably will turn around and say to me, we can't connect to your internet. Which is fine because the switch just doesn't work. So we'll see what it comes out with. Right. Update your PC and apps. So automatically install important updates and recommend. Now this you can do. This you can do however you like it. Whether you want to manually install important updates, or whether just to not do it at all. I'm going to just click don't set up Windows Update because I don't want it to take so long to update. And also I'm using 8.1 either really early or really late, but so long as I'm going to delete this, once I finished with this like video mini series, I'm going to delete this virtual machine anyway. So I'm just going to set up Windows Update. If I to recommend as a recommendation, I would say leave it as automatically install important and recommended updates. So then you just keep your PC up together and up to date. So automatically set device drivers, apps, info, new device. You want that turned on. Automatically update my apps. You want that turned on. Help protect your PC and your privacy. Use smart screen online service help protect against malicious content of Windows Store apps. Yeah, you want that turned on. Send do not track requests to websites that visit with Internet Explorer. You want that kept on. Check online for solutions. Use Windows error reporting to check online for solutions to problems. You can keep that on. Use compatibility list for Internet Explorer to help improve my experiences on some sites. You can turn that off. What's this? Help improve Microsoft product service. Send some location data to Microsoft when location-aware apps are used. Turn that off. That's fine. Now, this may be either off or on, dependent on your Windows install. Mine is. It looks like mine is all off automatically. Seems it is all off automatically just by default. I don't know why, but we'll just keep it. We'll just go through it anyway. Send Microsoft info about how I use PC as part of customer service improvement. We want that off. Send Microsoft info about how I use help as part of help experience program improvement program. Want that turned off. Next, use Bing and search suggestions and web results in Windows search. Let Microsoft use my search history, location, some account info to personalize my experience. You want that turned off because you don't want Microsoft looking at your history, your location, or your account info. In Internet Explorer, use page direction privilege, which sends my browsing history to Microsoft. I don't want Microsoft to know my browsing history, so I'm going to turn that off. Let apps use my name and account picture. Don't want that. You know, that you can depending on which you use, you can. That isn't a major problem regardless, but I don't want like what it does is it uses your name and your account photo whenever you let's say a Windows Microsoft app, let's say. If you log in with a Microsoft account, it'll use whatever on your PC to as like name and profile picture for your PC on those apps. So you can turn that on or off depending on which one you want. I'm just going to turn it off just for the warrant of a tutorial. Let apps use my advertising ID for experiences across apps. I don't want that, so I don't want them to use my advertising ID. Let Windows and apps request my location from the Windows location platform. I don't want them to know my location, so I'm going to turn that off. For better protection from malware by sending info files to Microsoft Active Protection Service when Windows Defender is turned on. I want that turned off because that doesn't actually affect your defense. Because I always say, now if you go into anywhere like a tech store like Curry's or I don't know, Maplin, which isn't actually around anymore, but any like tech store, they will always say to you, or even if you talk to Microsoft, they will always say to you that the Windows Defender it suffices for what an average user would want. I would always choose a third-party antivirus and anti-malware above anything that Microsoft would give me, only because these antiviruses, Microsoft antivirus, you don't know what they're taking from you. And if you've got Avast or Malwarebytes or something like that, you know they're not taking a lot of data from you. I can't guarantee that they don't take any data from you because I don't work with them, so I wouldn't know. But I would always advise third-party antivirus and anti-malware and what have you over what Microsoft and Windows provides you with. So checking your internet connection, it'll probably fail because I can't connect to the internet for some stupid ass reason. And what's this up here? Connection info. The quality of your internet connection to the remote computer is excellent. So somehow it's actually connected all right. But for some reason, the actual operating system won't pick up on my internet connection. That's weird. Yeah, Windows having trouble connecting to the internet. For now, we'll create a local account, but we'll have you set up a Microsoft account later. Right. I would always also advise creating a local account anyway. I wouldn't use a Microsoft account just because it's sort of like, it's a bit of a pain in the bum. Because you can't, if you don't want a password on your PC, you, if you're using a local account, you don't actually have to have a password. If you're using a Microsoft account, you have to have a password as part and parcel of having a Microsoft account. So I've got a local account. I haven't got a Microsoft account because I don't need it. So username, Commander Prime, password, literally just the same as it was. Just as it was beforehand. Just tutorial. There we go. That isn't my password. Choose a different username. Can't be the same as the PC. Oh, okay. Command Prime E. There you go. Right, finalizing your settings. This shouldn't take too long, hopefully. And this should be the Windows 8.1 install already done. This isn't taken too long because I haven't gone and explained too much in detail as I did beforehand. This video is probably going to be a massive file because obviously I've been waiting about, and for you it won't be too long. It should only be like 20 minutes or something. Last episode it's about like a 50-ish minute video altogether, and I managed to trim it down to just under 40. I'm not actually sure how long entirely it was, but a lot of it was just waiting about. I think I was there for a good hour and a half doing everything because a lot of the stuff wasn't recorded, and a lot of the stuff was just like sitting there and just like doing whatever, and wasn't necessarily needed. It was just a lot of the a lot of this stuff just saying like just setting up, welcome, etc. And it wasn't necessary to the video itself, so I just got rid of all of that. But yeah, that took up the best part of my day getting that last video sorted. The pain in the bum to render as well, because it was a good like gig or two, and my CPU, although it's quite a good CPU, it's not very good for it's not a very good CPU for rendering, and it's not very fast. It took about like 20-30 minutes, but I don't know. It would have taken longer if I had actually used the full bitrate. I had to scale that down just to make it a bit of a smaller file size, so it'd upload quicker. But oh well. Yeah, so this is the main setup. This does take a bit of time. So again, most of it does for you. The actual install and the actual setting up of the operating system, you can do yourself. No, not you do for yourself. It does for you. So it's not like, it's not hard. Like, if anybody it's the same with building a PC. If anybody turned around and said to me, could you teach me to build a PC? I could quite easily teach anybody to build a PC. Anybody with a couple brain cells could quite easily put a PC together. The only thing that daunts people with it, and it's sort of daunting to me a little bit, is, oh, hello. Okay, right, we're here. Right, can we get to the desktop? Oh, hang on. Desktop. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we got Windows 8. Okay, we got 8.1 Pro. So that's what was on. Let's just go to the settings a minute. PC settings. Yeah, so if anybody, I would always say anybody with a couple brain cells and knows how PCs work can quite easily put a okay. So according to it disappears. What are you trying to do? Keep moving your mouse pointer to the corner until it disappears. Oh, okay. Alright. No, so we want settings, because we want to just change the display. I want it just to go full 1920 by 1080. Where are we? PC and devices. No, I don't know. I know I can't customize. What I want display. Can I change the display? Here we go. Can't use display settings. That's what I'm after. I want it 1920 by 1080. Apply. Hey, there we go. Keep settings. Nice. Right. Let's go back now. Then I'll tell you what. I haven't used 8.1 in so long. Let's go to the desktop. So there you go. So that is Windows 8.1 Pro. This is the disk. This is the installed disk. This is the operating system C drive, and this is the floppy disk. Not much in the floppy disk, to be perfectly honest. I haven't used 8.1 in so long. It's actually really weird. But yeah, so that's how you install Windows 8.1 Pro. Now, I will just say it may be slightly different because I'm using a sort of like a non-Microsoft legit copy of Windows 8.1. Now, it works perfectly fine. It should work exactly as it would normally work, but the install might be slightly different. But because I haven't got a valid 8.1 product key for this virtual machine, nor do I want one, I'm not going to go around and I'm not going to go around and find one or buy one just for the warrant of this video because it's not necessary. I can get this operating system and just have it as just like non-activated as long as so long as I can do this video. I don't need to activate it because I'm just going to, once this video's, I've got one more video of this afterwards, and that's just testing my theory to see if what my theory is, it will actually work or not. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But after I've done that video, I'm just going to just delete the Hyper-V machine, so it's not a major problem that it's not unactivated. So anyway, after all that is about what we have time for in this video here. Next episode, we are going to be getting into the crux of our experiment and seeing if we can swap between the two Windows operating systems. I do need to learn how to get into the BIOS of these Hyper-V machines because I don't actually know how to do it at the moment. I sort of know how to change. Now, there's two ways we can go about this. There's getting into the BIOS and changing the boot order, or just the only other way that you would be able to do it is just having the Windows different drives, just take one out and put the other one back in as necessary. So that I know will work, but I wanted to change the boot order and see if I can get that to work, and with that that'll work, but I'm not sure if that'll work without being able to get into the BIOS. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did enjoy, don't forget to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button for more awesome gaming or tutorial content or whatever you want to call it. And I shall see you all later. Bye.